Hi, welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. So pull up a chair, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. Welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you to everyone who has dropped me comments this month for your chance to win a free tarot reading. If you are new to the channel, I do offer a chance to win a reading, and all you have to do is drop your comment beneath any of my readings this month for your chance to win. But be sure to hit your notification bell if you do so that I can notify you via the comment section. We can get the ball rolling and I can get you your reading. I also want to say that I have drawn names, a couple of names actually now, and I have reached out to those winners, but they have not reached out back to me at this point. So please be sure to check your notifications in case I have reached out to you via the comment section, letting you know that you have won a reading. But for today's pick a card topic, we're looking at your life, an urgent message that your guides feel like you need to have for the next year of your life or for the future of your life, specifically focusing on this next year. And we do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the purple flower in the desert. Pile number 2 with the white flower and the starborn. And pile number 3 with the red flower and the forest. And so there are 3 piles to choose from. My timestamps will be listed below. You can be drawn to multiple piles, so even if you have to pause the video to really reflect upon which pile is calling your name, there may be messages waiting from Spirit today, and they specifically want to talk to you about your life and about what to expect in this next chapter, in the next year of your life. They do feel like some of these messages are important for you to hear at this moment in time, so if you do feel drawn to a message, if you do feel like it's resonating with you, just know that that is your message. Don't second guess your own intuition. So pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, my timestamps are listed below. And again, my topic today is an urgent message from your guides that you need to hear about the future and about this next year of your life. Hello, pile number 1, you were drawn to the purple flower and you were drawn to the desert. And this is an oracle deck from the Wild Unknown called the Archetypes. And I feel like you were drawn to this desert along with the purple for a very specific reason, because purple for me is a symbol of empowerment, and it really shows me that you are walking through the passages of your transformation right now, but Spirit says it's not easy for you in this moment, and you may be so thirsty for what you want in life. The desert talks in this archetype about feeling destitute, feeling like we are thirsty, feeling like we're struggling to walk through this desert, and it does speak about how this is a theme that we all go through as spiritual beings who are having the human experience here, but you could be really in the thick of it right now and you might not be able to see the light. The deserts, they're showing me the hot desert, but then they're showing me how cold it gets at night and how there's a loneliness perhaps inherently in you as well. As you struggle through this, you feel like you're going through it alone. So you could be going through a very destructive period of your life. You could be just struggling a lot with your own emotions, with your life in general. Maybe things have fallen apart. And your guides want you to know, first of all, they're showing me the footprints in the sand. So if you feel like you're walking through the desert, they want you to know you are not alone at this critical point in your journey. They're also letting you know that better days will be on the way. With the purple flower, this is you expanding, and they want you to have more compassion for yourself while you're going through this cycle. So let's put this right here. A message that you need to hear. I do have a slight cold, so bear with me. My throat might close off or I might lose my voice. A message that pile 1 needs to hear about the next year of their life. We have the 3 of Swords. That's where we're starting. And there's shackles underneath this 3 of Swords, which is talking about, in the very least, disappointment. On the other side of the spectrum, we're talking about despair. We're talking about heartbreak and feeling shackled to it. We have the Devil. We have the Lovers. I just heard the term ghost moth. King of Cups. Ten of Cups. Judgment. Back of the deck we do have the 2 of Cups, and we have the High Priestess as well. Now, pile number one, I cannot deny that there's a lot of themes of relationships surrounding your reading in this moment. They're even giving me this message about a broken marriage or a broken connection. Maybe you're in the thick of a separation. Maybe you don't know what the future holds for your future in love, and that's where the inherent loneliness might be coming in for you. Here's your High Priestess, though, with the Temperance, and they are asking you to hold on. They're asking you to hold on in this moment. It's like there's this confusion in your mind about love. It's like, and it could be that you were confused in the past with a recent partner where you had to question their love for you. And so because you had to question that love, your guides say that that may not have been the environment for you. You should never have to question your value in an environment where you're supposed to be collaborating with another soul in that way. We have the Seven of Pentacles, supporting the Three of Swords, the Lovers. We have a lot of Gemini energy here, as well as Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming out with the King of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and we have the King of Wands. Back of the deck is the Three of Wands, and we also have the Fool as well. Now, what your guides really want to speak to you about today, pile number one, is the fact that you are in the thick of this devastating shift and change in your life. And the heartbreak is real, and you still feel like there are bones to pick, and you're wondering if this is really over, if you should allow it to be over. You are really fearing this change because it's completely unknown. And you may have invested in this environment or this person, this relationship for a really long time. It may feel like it's all you know. And so this desert, this thirst, it's like without that anchor, I have a fear that I'm going to waste away in the desert. And now they're showing me the mirage and how this person was that mirage for you. It's this idea of your thirst being quenched. It's this idea of some type of oasis for you, but it's not real. It's been something that has been invented. And so because this is an environment that wasn't enough for you, your guides say that it's almost like they have to push you through this cycle in order to get you to something that is being preserved for you. It's almost like they're protecting you right now, and you don't even realize it because you can't see the forest through the trees because you're feeling so defensive and so worried about what the next chapter holds and what this next year of your life. And we're not even talking about 2024 in its totality. We could be, but we're also talking about the next 12 months of your life and how you are in the thick and like in the middle of that struggle right now. And your guides are not saying that this is going to be over for you tomorrow, but they are saying that there's an opportunity here that you don't see yet, and that you're not capable in this moment because of your insecurity to see everything from the full spectrum the way that they do, but they see things that are bigger than you, bigger than this situation. And this feeling of disappointment and heartbreak and sadness that you feel shackled to, it's so temporary. Your guides say it's so temporary. There's an impatience when we're in the thick of something. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. We want to rip it off quickly so we can go through that pain quickly and then start the healing process. When it comes to our emotions, it takes a little bit more time for that heart to catch up and to listen to the logic that the brain's trying to tell us about better ways or better things on the way for you. But they're talking about upgrades in your life. You could be worried about finances. You're worried about loneliness. You could be worried though about your financial realm too. But even that, Spirit says, will take an upgrade for you ultimately because of everything that you're going through right now. They want to highlight here this Judgment in the reverse, which is highlighting this extreme fear of change right now that you feel like you're looking at it like a huge weakness, but your guides are saying that this is just a place where we need to gain a little bit of mastery and more awareness and understanding. Because like this snake that is wiggling itself free from the skin, the snake, in order to get itself out of that old skin, has to wedge itself between a rock and a hard place. And that's what they do in nature. That's what you feel like you're going through right now. But actually, luck is on your side when it comes to relationships in the future. And they want to remind you that you have endurance, you have stamina, you have proven that time and time again in every single difficult chapter of your life. You are the one that got yourself through it. Even if you had support around you, you physically are the one who got yourself through those moments. And they are telling you that there is more relationships coming. They're preparing you for a past life reunion. And you'll notice here that on the wall, it's like the hieroglyphs where they have all of these elephants with their trunks down, and this is luck that's not on our side. And that's something that we had to go through. Luck was not on our side there, but we had to go through that to get to this chapter of expansion. You could also have children. There's also an aspect of children coming through, and that could be adding to your extent of worry. But your guides are also saying that this is going to, it's like we have little eyes watching us, or people are learning from us. And the one thing that children will benefit always from are happy parents. Not parents that are settling, not parents that are sticking it out for the kids. They benefit from people who speak their truth and walk through life with true integrity. And that's what you're showing them. But they're also highlighting relationships on the way to you, that if loneliness is the concern in your mind, the guides are talking in, they're bringing in these daisies, and they're bringing in this playfulness. They're giving you the permission in this next year to be more playful, to have renewals, to have sort of new reflections or new flirtations that are coming in for you. And they are indicating that you have a new partner, ultimately, on the other side of all of this, that is almost being preserved for you. So despite immediate appearances of things, your guides are saying that you're actually being protected and being preserved for something better and being preserved for an upgrade. And that's why they want to offer their assistance in this moment while you're walking through the desert. They say we can't go around it. It's too big. We have to go through it. We have here culmination of a vision. And we have here hope and happiness. And that's, I feel like, what's creating the most adjustment for you is you had a vision, and now we have to detour from an old vision. We have to reestablish new goals. But what they want you to understand is that you are the culmination of a vision too. You are this culmination of all of your ancestors who have worked so hard, who struggled through life to get you where you need to be in this moment in time. And you are honoring them by honoring your own inner truth and walking through this difficult passage to get to what you deserve. And here we have perfect setting. The rest is unwritten for you. And you can see that she's almost, it's like she's painting in a beautiful sunrise, because that's what your guides are encouraging you to look forward to, is the dawn of a brand new day and an upgrade for you. So your guides say, don't worry. Don't worry about the thirst that you're feeling. They want you to know that by the time you feel thirsty, it's already too late, right? So it's like by the time you feel thirsty in that environment that you're leaving behind, that's already an indication that it was already too late there. They can't quench your thirst. But you have a true oasis that's awaiting for you in the future. A message you need, please. We have let go of your judgments. Try to find forgiveness, which is difficult. It means swallowing your pride a lot. And they're really showing the pelican like with a full gullet. Like maybe you don't even have, it's like you don't want to forgive. They don't deserve forgiveness perhaps. But the forgiveness isn't for them. It's so that you don't have to be burdened by the thoughts and the emotions anymore. Let go of your judgments of yourself. Remember who you are. And stand your ground in that belief system. Stand your ground with the boundaries that you're holding for yourself too, and old connections that could still be making you suffer, old energies that are making you suffer in this moment. You also have trust in your higher self to guide you. And they also are talking about you praying a lot. You might be praying and they hear your prayers. They just want to acknowledge that they do hear your prayers. That's what you need about the next year of your life. We have the bear, boundaries and leadership, the bear and the cedar. And they're showing sort of the cedar tree and how if you cut a cedar tree, it'll start to, that sap will leak out and then get hard. But they're saying here that that's how the tree protects itself. So they're talking about emotional purges and letting yourself express so that you can get that energy out. It might help you in your forgiveness cycle. Just saw the rabbit. And they are encouraging you as well in this next year. They're talking about within the next 10 months. They don't think you're ready yet, but within this next 10 months, you might be exploring a new pathway. You might be exploring a new relationship. We also have here the snail and the huckleberry, trust in the invisible. And there's this like, they're showing me like the snail trail. of like this path that you're forging and as an example for other people. And the snail can move really, really slowly. It can feel very frustrating, but he makes it to his destination. And that's what your guides are really encouraging you to focus on, is you're going to make it to your destination. Back of the deck says guardianship, the wolf and the rose hip. And they're encouraging you to live wild. They're showing me the wild rose here with the wolf. There is a protection surrounding you. There's a guardianship, and your guides are trying to protect your future by making you leave behind a limiting past. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1, please. Advice for pile number 1 over the next year of their life. 3 of Swords, we started, but there's the sun. The sun is coming out for you. So temporary disappointment, temporary pain in this present moment. You may feel very chaotic right now. You may feel like life is out of control and it's spinning around you and you don't know what to do. Like you're on one of those, you know, what are they called? The gravitrons at the amusement park. Just things are feeling very chaotic. You're feeling really vulnerable in this moment. Again, there's an emphasis on children that could be in the mix of all of this chaos for you. That doesn't have to resonate with you at all. But if it's your message, you'll know that it is your message. They just want you to understand that the red flags that you saw are now going to become your red flags of empowerment, and how the vulnerability that you feel is going to carry you into more awareness and more abundance than you could have ever reached in your old realm. We have here the purple divine feminine. You are drawn to the purple flower as well. They're talking about certain things that are destined for you, certain things that are written in the stars for you. We have the letter B. We have the world, I think of unfinished business. Taurus coming in. Attraction. And maybe focusing on yourself for the first time in a long time as well. Listening to the notes of acoustics. We also have the tree of life. So this could be affecting a foundation and children made with love. We also have angels and the prescription. They're talking here about not relying on negative things to get us through the cycle or the struggle. Sometimes we'll rely on addictions and we'll rely on substances to get us through. They're talking about prayer, asking your guides to carry your burdens as an alternative, if you're able. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you, and I am praying for you. Please drop your comment below if you're interested in winning a free tarot reading with me, but be sure to hit your notification bell if you would like me to notify you when you're chosen the winner. Be sure to check out my link for Etsy as well. I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back if you are interested in a personal reading. And I just hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the white flower. You were also drawn to the Starborn, and this is your reading. What message do your guides have for you today for the next year of your life? What urgent message do they feel like you need in your life at this moment? This is coming from the Wild Unknown Archetype Oracle, and this card specifically speaks about you. First of all, the moment of your birth. There is this moment of birth when you were coming into the world, where it's almost like you made this huge impression, or it's like you made this announcement on the day of your birth that you were made for more. And so there's a feeling here about trying to reinvigorate hope or reestablish hope inside of you, because they feel like you are in a place where you don't feel like you have reached your potential, or you have failed to reach a potential that you know that you're capable of. And if you don't know that you're capable of it, or if you've forgotten, or you feel like you've lost that spark, your guides are here to remind you who you are. Here with the Starborn, they're encouraging you to sort of catch that shooting star and allow it to propel you forward in some way. So let's take a look here. Please forgive me for my throat. I do have a bit of a cold, so I do have a bit of a scratchy throat today. A message that you need about this next year of your life from your guides and angels, please. King of Swords. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. 9 of Cups coming in the reversal. I just saw the Ace of Swords, the Page of Swords. They're coming in reverse. We have the 2 of Cups, Empress coming out together. So we're going to keep all of those together. We have the Judgment. There's a feeling of like taking a back seat, and maybe even for a partnership or in a partnership, it's like maybe you didn't prioritize your career, or maybe you didn't prioritize yourself. You sort of prioritized the dream from other people, the dream for your partner, the dream from collective expectations, the dream for family. They're even like they're highlighting like weight gain and things like that, like just physical representations of your frustrations. It's almost like as a distraction. As a distraction from the fact that we're not kind of reaching our full potential. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So there's like been physical representations of this frustration. You may have found that you've gained weight or you're struggling with that. They're also saying that you have sought in the past sort of quick fixes when it comes to what you think ails you. So it's like if you feel like you've gained weight, instead of going back to the source of why that is physically attaching to your 3D image at this moment, it's like we will go on a diet, or we'll go on a fad diet, or we'll try all, it's like maybe you've tried all of these different things to bring about more satisfaction for yourself, but they've failed up to this point. Here's the Page of Cups. There's the Nine of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. And the truth is here is that your guides have been trying to get a hold of you, or they've been trying to talk to you about what actually holds you back from doing the things that you want to do in life. And this could even, again, in relationships, in regards to your goals, in regards to your career. You're putting yourself in the back seat or on a shelf for now. And your guides say that that's something that is even evident in your relationships. It's like you're always putting others first, or it's like, but you're drinking from this empty cup. And you have so much potential. Like, and I think you know this. Like inherently the Empress knows that it's like I'm seeing the princess in the pea. And when the pea is stuffed underneath that mattress, she can't get comfortable. So even if you're living a very comfortable life, and you may feel sometimes selfish about your own desires and goals because maybe things are not terrible for you. Maybe your relationship isn't terrible. Maybe your life isn't terrible, but you know there's a restlessness that there's something more. Right? And it's like, maybe I can't even put my finger on it. This card encourages you to go back to childhood and ask yourself, what did the child version of me want to do with their lives? What did they think was possible for myself? Because I know when I was a kid, I thought that everything was possible. When I was 3 years old, I announced to my mom that I was going to marry a millionaire, move back to our hometown, and raise pigs. That was my dream. And that, my mom laughed. She thought that's a ridiculous dream. But for me, as a 3-year-old, that seemed very plausible, and that seemed like a really good life in that moment. I think I also said I wanted to be a mountain climber, marry a millionaire, and raise pigs. That seems like a good life. So they want you to go back to childhood, and they want you to challenge yourself to tap into her or him, that little version of you that said, this is what I am. This is who I am. I believe in myself. Because children don't stop believing in themselves until they're taught to. They aren't taught to hate. They're not taught to fear until we tell them that there's a reason to. And so they just want you to tap into that inspired version of yourself, the inspired version that believes that everything is possible, because it is. We have the Three of Cups. They're also talking about how smart you are and about how you should be taking more of a leadership role. They're talking here about wanting to maybe even move into your own business or wanting to create your own business, but feeling like you need the support of other people, and maybe even the advice of other people to give yourself the permission. The Ace of Wands, or Ace of Swords, I'm sorry. Now, in this in-between, your guides want you to know that as part of this Starborn energy, they're talking about upgrades for you. Upgrades that they feel like will start for you or be evident for you when it comes to your financial realm or your positions. These are the upgrades you're going to physically see, but what they're speaking about is the upgrade inside of you and how confident you feel and how much more abundant you feel and how you're able to embrace messages that come in from spirit more easily. They are indicating here that we might have this idea in our mind that we want a quick fix. It's like we have desires perhaps for more finances, and we want that quick road to success. And your guides are encouraging us to not look for those quick roads. They're not saying it'll take forever, but they're saying here that our desire as a collective to find a quick fix for everything stops us from going to the root of the problem. And they say that your dedication will be tested here. Your commitment to yourself will be tested here. What we're trying to defy in you is this if pigs could fly mentality. And you feel sometimes greedy about wanting something more, maybe even than motherhood. If you are a parent, it's like maybe you want something more and that makes you feel greedy, or it makes you feel bad about yourself because you're like, why would I want something more? There are many people in the world that don't even have what I have. And your guides want you to feel like you can ask for things. You know, a toddler doesn't mind walking up to their dad and saying, can I have 5 cookies? He just asks. Sometimes he's told no, but he still has the courage to ask. They want you to go boldly to the throne, is what I just heard. Go boldly to the foot of the cross. Don't feel guilty about having your own dreams outside of what you have established for yourself. They think that you could be a perfect entrepreneur. We have the 5 of Cups. And they are trying to encourage you to find more solutions when you're in the thick of like this reflection period, because the judgment's meant for us to judge ourselves, and sometimes that's hard for us to do. It's hard for us to be critically honest with ourselves because that means we have to make adjustments. It's hard for us when Spirit says that maybe we're looking for quick results, because that stings a little bit, because we do want quick results, you know, and we don't want to be called out by Spirit when they're like, well, you know, don't expect big results if you're not going to put in the effort. And we get triggered by that. But the purpose of the judgment is not to trigger us, but to help us to establish new habits and to help us to cultivate the goals and the dreams and a brand new day that we deserve. So it helps us to reflect upon what is imbalanced. How can I change things? It makes us feel like we're in more control if we can look at it from that angle. And so right now they say our propensity of like stubbornness to looking at what we're going to lose versus what we're going to gain, that's part of the issue. And they see you really tackling this year. But they're also saying that, again, these inspirations are going to come up. But you're also going to have, as soon as the inspiration comes up, about how capable you are, about your dreams, your goals, immediately following that, your ego is going to follow suit with discouragement. And that's enough to sometimes make us hold back and delay here too. So they are speaking about the next 2 years for you, that if we're not addressing this year, we're probably going to be addressing it next year. You may have already been addressing this last year. So that could be why they're including this next year as part of this cycle too. This isn't new information, Spirit says. They've been waiting for you to pick up on the cues or the lessons or the signs from them. Because it's like they're shining a big, huge flag or a great big light over top of the truth for you. And they want you to know that there's more for you. You may have a lot. They're not saying you don't have things or that you don't have abundance in some forms. You do. You have so much to be grateful for. They just want you to apply that gratitude to your inspiration and run with it. What I love here is that we have so much abundance waiting for you anyway. And they're not even saying it's going to take that, again, that full year for you to really appreciate the inspiration that's going to come in. It may take you a little bit of time within this year to not just receive the message, but to imply the message or apply the message to your situation. Devil on the back of the deck with the 7 of Wands. And Spirit says the only thing that's getting in the way of this expansion is you. Again, I do feel like there's upgrades in the financial realm, but it almost feels like you're surrendering to a collaboration with a partner or collaboration with another person. It's like maybe you're going to be working together with someone on some type of side hustle, but it's going to bring in money for you. And once the money starts to come in, I feel like you're more encouraged to keep going. That's the physical representation of like, yes, my dreams are real. And if I keep going and I'm disciplined, that's not only going to give me more financial abundance, but it's going to be the ultimate form of self-care, because it's showing me that when I feel like I want to give into old results or give into old feelings and insecurities and not do the work that I have to do, I'm going to remember that the ultimate form of self-care is self-discipline, because I'm doing things for my highest good. And I'm moving myself out of a place where I have to rely on those old crutches and those old hurdles to satisfy a moment of frustration and anxiety. The message you need for this next year of your life, what to expect. And the Spirit says, don't be afraid of what you're going to lose, because you're going to gain so much. I just saw the culmination of a vision. That came in pile 1 as well, actually. We have inner truths, number 16. And you can see she has this light in front of her. And the inner truth is about epiphanies about you. It's about bringing them to the surface, and it's about changing everything. Changing everything, changing your approach, changing your life. They're saying that after this year, everything's going to feel different. And it's slowly going to reveal itself to be completely different, and you won't be going back to the old. You are upgrading in a lot of different ways. I even feel like you could be moving into like a new home this year, in the next 12 months. And we're not going back, Spirit says. We have here contemplation coming out with adventure. And back of the deck says infinite blessings that await you. I love that. The Star of Aquarius, changing directions. You are the Starborn. Number 17. There's something very special and unique about you. You know this. You've been feeling this inside of yourself for a long, long time, but maybe you've been pushing it aside because the collective will tell us you're not special, right? The collective likes to drop us down a peg or two. Your guides are here to bring you back up to that level where you deserve to be, up on that pedestal. There's a feeling about you stepping outside of the norm, or stepping outside of like a predictable path when it comes to upgrading your finances too. So I do feel like there's a lot to reflect upon when it comes to side hustles or independence in the career realm. It's time to surrender and let go of control. We micromanage by trying to focus on just the losses instead of focusing on the solutions. And that's not a positive micromanagement. And so they're asking you to surrender. They're also highlighting, again, family energies, not wanting my dreams to interrupt the family in some way. So take that as it resonates. You always have the freedom of choice, but you do have all the resources you need. Your guides are never going to try to force you down this path if you do not feel confident about it, but you have everything you need. They're encouraging you to be inspired, to be creative, because that's who you are. Your creativity is at its peak, and even though the rabbit is a fight or flight animal, they're super curious, they're super playful, and that's the energy they want you to tap back into in this next chapter for yourself. Don't ever forget that you have all the resources you need, and anytime that you fail to recognize that, Spirit says straighten your crown. Remember who you are. Thanks for pile number 2, please. The next year and a message that we need. We have here the crow and the dogwood. Intelligence. So intelligent, so smart. People could share in that wisdom. They're talking about communicating your wisdom in some way. So you may be starting a side hustle where you are inspiring other people, or where you are teaching others something. There's a teaching element coming through. We also have here the snake and the fern, starting over. The snake and the fern. They're really highlighting kind of moving out, again, out of a, they're like showing like moving out of the Garden of Eden and into the world. It's like moving out of an expectation and moving out into the unknown as well. Back of the deck says the sheep and the blackberry devotion. I love that because they're really speaking about the devotion of the divine feminine and how you're a shepherd. It's like, again, you're made for guidance. You're made to lead a flock, not just perhaps in children, but also beyond and into the collective. You're meant to lead here as well. Devotion, I love that. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. Advice for pile 2 in the bowl. The 2 of Cups. Relationship is a theme here, although it's not the primary theme. They do see upgrades in your relationship. They do see a deepening connection as well. This next year, if you are single, this next year will bring in a relationship, so make sure that you're holding on to strength there. But they're also talking about established relationships and how there's an ability to deepen the connection. They are saying that opportunities that you may bring forward in your career realm or towards entrepreneurship may affect the relationship a little bit, but I feel like it's going to affect it in positive ways. It might test the strength, but that gives us a chance to gain mastery over that connection. We have the letters K, P, and J. We are at a crossroads when it comes to relationships. They are saying that this year, again, there's an emphasis on relationships, and I feel like it's going to be empowered. The relationship cycle in your life is going to feel more empowering. They're also speaking about commitment cycles that could last for a long time. The swans will mate for life. We have unfinished business here with the world, and we do have the Empress in the form of the mermaid. It's like being lured into something that you really want to do. But we have good luck on your side with the 4-leaf clover. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. Hope it resonates. I am praying for you, and your guides are going to walk with you no matter what path you choose, of course. Be sure to drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link below for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the red flower and to the forest, and this is your reading. An urgent message that your guides feel that you need about this next year of your life, what to expect this next year. And you are drawn to the red flower and the forest, and this is a oracle card from the Wild Unknown archetypes. And this specific card talks about your earliest memories in the forest. And if you can remember as a child sort of playing in the woods or playing in the forest, there's always this moment of fear. There's always a little bit of moment of excitement. You get to discover new things. And this card speaks about you being in the thick of something, like you're in the middle of it. You've chosen a path and you're in the middle of it. And because you're in the thick of the forest, you can't see the clearing yet. But I love that you are drawn to the red flower because this is very empowering for you. And your guides want you to know that you have to go through this now in this moment. You're in the thick of the storm, but what's waiting for you could be so much more empowering than what you left behind on the other side of that forest. So let's take a look and see. Pile number 1, please. I'll use a different deck. This one's not exactly full. An urgent message you need about this next year of your life. This next 12 months. We have the Page of Wands. I love that this Page of Wands is a little frog. Normally I associate the Page of Wands with a rabbit, but this is a little frog. And this is about you trusting in your intuition to guide you through this curiosity. Yeah, there's the Hanged Man. Here's the 5 of Pentacles. So this could be how you feel right now in the middle of this forest. You could feel like there's loss. You could feel like you're in the outside of things, or there's some type of separation from a safety realm or a safety zone. Ace of Swords. Maybe you even feel like you're not just bringing yourself into this forest, but you're bringing other people or have brought other people into it with you. They want you to keep seeking in the situation that you're in. They want you to keep seeking and looking for that light because it's coming for you. We have the Magician. And what I love about this is that this path that you're on right now is going to empower you because it's about you calling your power back. You may have walked away from something. You may be exploring brand new energies, and you're feeling really vulnerable because you're in the unknown and you're out of the comfort zone. So of course you're bound to feel uncomfortable. You're bound to feel uncomfortable. The discomfort you're feeling right now means that you did the right thing or that it's working for you in this moment. 6 of Cups and the 6 of Swords. So you could be transitioning in this moment in your relationships. And again, you could feel like you're bringing children in through this pathway with you. That doesn't have to resonate with you. This could just be a deep connection that we are now addressing, that we are now maybe trying to work on things, trying to create clarity and peace, trying to bring things back into an abundant state. We're in the thick and we're with someone. We're not alone in it. But sometimes we might feel alone in it at times. And the higher self here, even with the Hanged Man, it's really encouraging us to surrender to this chapter in life, because this is not it for you. There is more that's going to be revealed. I just heard what goes up must come down, and they're referencing the forest again. So it's like if we go in one side of the forest, it's bound to end eventually. The 5 of Swords. We've got a lot going on. 10 of Wands, 4 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. They really want those all out as well. because this is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. That's why they're asking for the divine feminine here to really hold on and to really maintain her focus and her leadership abilities, because these better days are on the way. You may not know in this moment, the 10 of Wands, of what's coming for you on the other side of that clearing, but we have victory, and we have victory in our relationships. Again, we have victory. It's like we're better than where we started. And I keep hearing that song, I'm Still Standing. We have the 10 of Swords, but this can feel so dark. This doesn't even offer us, it's like the state of gray, this hermit energy, where it's not even offering us a glimmer of hope in the moment, and it feels very disparaging, and it feels very heavy, the 10 of Swords. It's like our expectations are now being adjusted. It's like things didn't go the way that we thought, and now we have to formulate a new plan otherwise, and it's like ... You could be struggling to hold a relationship together in this moment. You could be exploring the possibility of living apart in this moment as well. They want you to know that there's way more communication or information that's going to come in. And it's also required, especially in your collaborations with your relationships with other people. Communication will be key for you. Because sometimes when we are on this new path and we're trying to explore new options and we're trying to explore new power, sometimes the ego will come in and try to conflict us and make it so we self-preserve and we aren't vulnerable the way that we need to be with other people. Because we tell ourselves in a logical approach that that's just going to keep us safe and we're just protecting ourselves. But Spirit says that's no way to create solutions. We have the 2 of Cups. So I feel like this reading is really shining a light on relationships for you. And they want you to understand that this passage that you're on in this moment will empower a connection, will empower a relationship. I see peace coming in a collaboration in your relationships. I see further understanding. I see closure energy. And then we have this 9 of Cups of like being very satisfied, being very happy that I called my energy back, or I communicated my feelings, or that I worked hard to almost micromanage all the elements of this relationship, of this life. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Back of deck is the Knight of Cups. We also have the Knight of Wands, and there's the King of Swords on your back of deck. So they are not denying that you feel vulnerable in this moment, but here's the Knight of Wands, who is sort of pushing on the rear of this Knight of Cups. It's like if he's hesitating to go over this emotional wave, if he's hesitating to continue to fight for what I want, to fight for abundance, to fight for a connection, your guides are saying that this Knight is asking you to continue to take action, continue to put pressure upon your desires and your goals in that relationship. If you are struggling in the interim, if you're in a separation with someone and you don't have a lot of hope left, I see communication opening up this year. I see more communication than ever before with this person, to be honest with you. They're saying that we will have almost old habits that come up and raise their heads. It's like old habits of conflict when we're talking with other people, because we trigger each other. And that's going to happen too. But you're applying a new focus. Your strength will be in your composure and how you communicate your emotions to your partner. And I feel like there's going to be peace that does bring in the very least, closure or clarity, but a peaceful resolution here. A happy resolution, a resolution that feels very abundant with the 9 of Cups, a wish being granted to you as well when it comes to your collaborations and your relationships in general. Again, they're also including children in the mix of that if that resonates with you. It doesn't have to. This can also represent just the deep connection that we're working on, or that's worthwhile. That's what they're saying here. It's that they're asking you to question yourself about the worthiness of this collaboration, because this 6 of Cups is a decision, or a relationship rather, that's worth the effort we're guided to take. Full stop. And Spirit sees peace coming in at the end of this year. And not even at the end of this year. I feel like this year we're working on it. You're in the middle of it. So you could be halfway done. Yeah, I feel Spirit, that's what Spirit just said. You're halfway done that cycle. So even within the next 6 months, you can expect there to be more community, more reunion energy, more peace in conflicts that you've been having in your relationships. But it's like once we've opened up that can of worms, we have to go through the thick of that storm. And it's necessary too. It's almost like a dissection that has to happen because otherwise it could just feel like a counterfeit relationship. It's like it's a relationship, but it could be deeper. It could be more connected. There could be more that we can gain from it. Now, vulnerability will be the tool here when we're communicating. We have here, let love be your beacon in this situation, especially when you're in the dark forest. We don't have any light. The only light that can come from, it's from your heart space. And if we lead from a heart space of love, then Spirit says you'll never be disappointed. It says, be your best self always. And they aren't talking about family energies coming in for someone watching too. They say that when we are in conflict with other people, it's really easy to lose ourselves. It's like if you want to know the truest version of yourself, how do you act? How do you behave when you're really scared? How do you behave when you're really upset? How do you behave when things don't go your way? That's where we need to start from when it comes to cultivating more personal growth. They're saying that sometimes we get triggered because of family energies or expectations. But this is an opportunity for you this year, especially again within partnerships, within relationships, to lead from the heart space of love instead of feeling triggered and leading from those triggers. We have here seeing the big picture. And I also have here big breakthroughs for you as well. Back of the deck says trusting your intuition to guide you. I love that. Trusting in your higher self to guide you because they've already been through this. They're showing these like crocus type flowers. And every time I see a crocus, I think of the woods, and we have the forest here. I think about them growing between the trees. And so your guides say that you only see one small snippet. You only see one small piece of your picture in this moment. You're sitting in the Five of Pentacles. You're sitting here with the Ten of Swords, which feels very limiting, very devastating, very dark. It's like I don't see the light, but Spirit says your heart is the guidance system. If we always trust in what the intuition tells us to do, it's going to challenge us and it's going to trigger us, but your strength will be in your composure, and your guides are going to help you with that. They just want you to see the big picture, that you are addressing old issues, clearing those out, and there's going to be a breakthrough for you, especially in your relationships. They are saying that these breakthroughs could extend into the practical realm. So you may find that when one area of your life is starting to go in a better direction, that other opportunities in other realms start to open up for you, because now they're showing me opportunities in the work realm that are going to come up within the next year too, after you start to see progress in your relationships. We have here, follow your passion, the Black Panther. And the Black Panther will normally just sit in the sort of outskirts and watch from a distance and watch from the darkness, but that's not you. It's like if you see an issue, if you see a problem, you tackle it. And that's what you're doing in this moment. It's time to lighten up. Bring your gaze back to joy. Use this period of time to reflect about what you want, about how you can cultivate that. They say that you should incorporate more play into your life. Just more reasons to feel joyful. They're even speaking here again with collaborations with other people, with your romantic relationships. It's almost like dating again, or revisiting the connection from the very beginning, from a fresh perspective, where we're wooing each other, or where we're putting in more effort than we ever did in the past. But we're doing it in a way that's joyful, and that feels good, and that feels like fun. They want to remind you about fun, especially in your relationships. They want to remind you about fun, and they want you to remind yourself. We have the rabbit, the hare, and the oak. New opportunities waiting for you. Again, not just in relationships, but also in career. We have here the fox and the ivy, adaptability. And using your intelligence, they're really giving me Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy coming through here. And we have the salamander and the black pepper, inspiration. They're also speaking about the salamander. They're showing me Sagittarius energy, and they're talking about protection elements. Back of the deck says the vulture, upheaval, the forest. But your guides want you to know they're highlighting spiritual love, but they're also highlighting that, you know, here with the upheaval, with the vulture, that nothing's going to go to waste in this experience. The Spirit's going to help you to build from this point. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Advice for pile number 3 about this next year of your life. The Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. Now, I feel like in this period of life, when we're in the forest, when we're stuck in the middle of things and we feel stuck, sometimes we're not acting like the highest version of ourselves. Sometimes we can say things that are kind of intentionally cutting. I know that when I'm mad at my partner, I can have a very sharp tongue if I really choose to. And so your guides are speaking about that, and they're not trying to throw you under the bus or shine a light on you in any way. They're just trying to bring it to your attention, because they're trying to bring it, they're presenting it in a way that says, when you react to people in an unkind way, it's actually because you're feeling triggered and you're feeling like you're begging for something, like you're begging for what you want. And that's why you react the way that you do. So they're asking you to offer yourself compassion in that moment, offer other people compassion in that moment as well. And that can be a way to help you feel unstuck from that situation. Because they're talking about reaping what we sow energetically, and they're saying for the Divine Feminine here, for the Queen of Swords, when she is triggered by others and or situations, and she reacts in a unfocused way, or sometimes again in a very cutting way in her communications with other people, they're just highlighting how that's a trigger for you that needs to be resolved, because you deserve to feel better about things. And you may go into like a state of guilt where you start to feel really guilty, and then it just keeps you more stuck. We have masks coming off. We have the slow handsaw, so we're slowly breaking down some things, breaking down our truths. We also have here number 5 for the Divine Feminine. I think of the Hierophant. I also think of after the period of mourning and finding solutions. L, D, A, and S. And we have the crescent moon when it comes to our intuition, and there's still bones to pick here. So there's still bones to pick in an environment. You're still working through the situation. It is unfinished in this moment, but it will not last forever. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. I'm praying for you, and your guides are going to walk with you no matter what path you choose. If you are interested in a free tarot reading, be sure to drop your comment below for your chance to win, and be sure to hit your notification bell so I can notify you if you're chosen. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and I do update that shop daily. So I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.